Welcome back to the WDL, everybody. My name is Kason. I will be your host. This is Season 3, Week 2 of the Rundall division. And this video is going to be a little different than the other videos that I've done before. If it feels clunky, I really do apologize, but I'm experimenting a little bit with the format on how to do this because I cannot cast every single game every week. I filmed myself casting every single game in the Wazette division this week, and I plan on picking a division over the next few weeks after this where I do that on. But my plan right now for this week is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the final game of each of the other three divisions. That's Rundall, Heinler, and Leonis. Now, I understand that if I were to just put, let's say, game one without me casting it in the video and then film myself casting game two right after, it is very clear and obvious that this is only a 2-game series, and that's kind of a spoiler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the final game. I'm going to put that all kind of front loaded in the video, and then after I talk about the standings and a little sign off, I'm going to put the raw footage of the early games of the series at the very end. So any of those players who still want to watch those games and did not get to can still do that at the end after I'm done blabbing and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that made sense. If it didn't, I apologize. If you guys do like this or don't like this format, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm trying to find out the sweet spot of all of this stuff, as there are 40 teams rather than 20 this season. So hopefully that makes sense. But without further ado, guys, we've got 5 series to jump into, and let's check out the first one. Alright guys, this is game 2 between Catra of Sandrock and Dawn of Primordial Inquisition. And looking at the teams, we've got the light team that Catra favored in week number 1. He is coming off a 2-1 series win from week 1. And on the other side, it looks like Dawn is running some ice power with Eliza, Aerith, and Nasha as a composition here. So coming out, Stern, Wing of Destiny, going to pop the Reawakening, get his re-raise buff online, and when he comes back, he will also get some CT up. And this team from Catra is dangerous when it comes to CT up, as this Dazzle Us Cendrillon ability comes out from Violet, getting her own evasion up, as well as some CT on the party when they crit. And Nasha going to walk forward, Presence of the Dragon, a nice little tech, expecting maybe some haste coming out from the other party, trying to nullify that. And Keenblade coming out from Balo. So slash attack up, CT up, 500 for the party. And that is pretty much what Balo is used for at this moment, is a Keenblade bot for the most part here. So Violet, what is she going to go for? She goes for a Can't End Yet, pops the Courage, and is going to walk forward. So now there's a re-raise and a Courage to try and work through here on Catra's side, as Dawn is going to channel something from Aerith. I imagine this is probably a re-raise. Eliza goes for Nose for the Hunt, so she still cannot reach damage here. And it is a guard haste, not a re-raise. I apologize. She might have actually even used that already. I'm sorry if I didn't catch that. As the Taunting Blade comes out from Nasha, it misses Violet. So a pretty evasive unit. She dodges the tank. But honestly, it does exactly what Nasha was hoping for, and is just getting a ton of hate online for herself. So Stern's going to go next. He's going to go Aegis Crush, 2810. Honestly soaked quite well by Nasha here. A nice adjustment here from Dawn, as Dawn coming out a 0-2 loss in week 1, looking to try and get some redemption to win this series. And what does Eliza go for here? Is going to be Cage of Thorns. So this is going to drop ice attack resistance, 9958. Who was that on? Was that on Violet? I don't see the health bars on the left side. I think that was on Violet. I'm shocked. I think that probably did one shot and brought her down to Courage if I had to guess. Shadow Flare comes out though, only 1,000 damage. I wonder if that was something that Dawn wanted to use or not. Nasha can't hit Violet. In fact, she can't even hit Stern. This is a dodgy group coming out from Catra, but it looks like Eliza does have some accuracy up. Convergence Plus comes out for about 3,500 damage. Can Eliza find an AoE on both units, though, as Violet's sitting there with 1 health remaining? No, she goes for Warning Volley. Backline hate from Balo with the bow tie. A very nice tech here from Catra, as it's going to distract so that Violet can do some more damage onto the tank. And Aerith, it is time to heal, honey. It is time to heal instead of doing damage. And there it is. This is the Limit Break Healing Wind. And now, looking more and more at this fight, that early Taunting Blade from Nasha, I think I said Naya a couple times, whoops. Early Taunting Blade from Nasha looking pretty crucial to try and basically pick up some more hate. And I don't know why Nasha just moved there, because I think she just put herself in AoE range with Aerith. Yes, she certainly did. Honey, you were fine exactly where you were standing. I think she moved to the side to guarantee her accuracy or increase her accuracy, but that is very unlucky for Dawn, as Aerith is going to catch a massive AoE now. She is going to drop. Regenerator is going to come online for Nasha here. Balo just going to go Sentinel and very, very slowly enter this fight. He has no movement. That slow boy. Displacer comes out from Violet. Not quite enough to kill the Nasha, but unless Eliza can put in a ton of work in this turn, I just don't see a way they can win. But I think Balo still has 1 hate left. Bowtie gives you 3 hate. He should still have 1 remaining. Yes, he does. Great armor-piercing arrow, so she is not able to go for the Violet here. Stern gonna go Time Sealer, finds the AoE, kills both of Dawn's units, and Catra of Sandrock picks up a 2-0 win over Dawn and Primordial Inquisition. All right, guys, next on deck, we have 2 Week 1 winners between Coppola and Jesus LBL, and they are in the midst of a 3-game banger here. Coppola won Game 1, Jesus LBL won Game 2, and we are down to a 3rd game here, as Jesus LBL bringing out a double win strike team with Ravis as the tank, Coppola going with some very trademark units for himself with Starlight, Elena, Ramza, and Slime. She is actually going to pop the King Bradley TMR right out of the gate. Ramza is going to use Shout to get Protect on the party and walk forward. A very nice initial turn rotation from Coppola here, as Tifa popped her own haste. Blessing of the Truth comes out from Edward, getting that AoE resistance up, as well as some other resistances like slash resistance, which can be pretty effective from Elena, who does not have ridiculous amounts of slash pen. Keenblade coming out from the Ravis though. She's going to walk forward. Tifa, what does she have in store? Does she go for her courage? Yes, she does. Unyielding stance, so she is going to have to be killed twice. Edward should be able to go Automail's Crux. This is the buff that is crucial for him to be able to perform his job. He now has Dispel on basically all of his attacks. He has AP Restore, all of that good stuff. Tifa, can she find damage here? Not quite. They're just out of range. Tifa's biggest weakness is her range, frankly, as Ultima comes out from Ramza. Does this hit or does it get dodged? Tifa can be an evasive unit. 4691 and removes the haste. Pretty brutal for Jesus, who wanted a hasted up punchy girl here, as Steel Heart comes out from Ramza to Ramza from Ravis. It does not land though. Not sure if Ramza has innate charm resistance. He must have some built up though, either from a Trust Stone or something. Slime gonna move to the side here, and Starlight Elena gonna go next. Crystal Shine Bright, a pretty sizable chunk onto Ravis, who is a very good tank here. And Tifa might be able to find an overpower plus for the AoE. Yes, she can, and I think that actually drops accuracy, interestingly enough. A chunk of damage here, but Slime is in the background. Can you one-shot this Ramza here? You're going to have to, or he is going to get healed up by Slime. 7,800 is enough to take him out, and this is looking very good for Jesus at this moment. Starlight Elena probably going to go for a limit break, I imagine. Yes, she is. It's going to be Prismatic Punishment. So we've seen this time and time again from this character. If I had a nickel for every time I saw this limit break, even from Coppola's team, I'd be a very rich man. Tifa's courage is going to be procced. Ravis is still hanging down for dear life here. What does Ravis have? So Anti-Eva is going to come down, but she has a guaranteed hit in Blinding Cross. It's going to blind the Slime. You probably would have preferred to see that from Elena, as Hustle Dance +1 is going to bring her back up to full health, and I don't think her courage has been procced yet. Tifa's going to go Whirling Uppercut combo, a very sizable chunk of damage onto Slime though, as Edward probably will be able to take him out. Yes, he can. Adamantine Pillar Transformation takes out the Slime, but Slime used Zombie TMR for the re-raise, a very nice tech from Coppola, very similar to what you do with Skahal for the Immortal Skahal build. Slime can do something very similar as a healer in the background. He's going to Hustle Dance +1 again, and now what looked like it was good for Jesus' LBL's team, I think this is probably good for Coppola. Crystal Shine Bright, a good chunk of damage, just about half of Edward's health. He probably goes Adamantine Pillar again, but unless he can chain with himself, it's going to be too little too late, because Slime is just going to Hustle Dance again to get Elena's health back up, and she should be able to claim this kill here. Here's a Hustle Dance +1. Coppola looking very good in this game 3. 27 AP. Is it enough to seal the kill? Star Supernova, not quite. So Edward, if he can stay put and chain with himself, maybe he has a chance. Anti-Evil comes out. Wallbreaker comes out. Procs the courage on Slime. It's not going to be enough. And the heal bot decides, I'm not going to heal. I'm going to pick up the kill with Scorch +1, and Coppola wins a 3-game banger against Jesus, LBL, and the Straw Hats. All right, guys, game number 2 between Ready Player Will and the Pandas and Iceheart of Stag Party. It looks like Treasures Hunter's Fortune, an Agility and Luck TMR coming out from Sweetheart Eldira on the party, and this is an Evasion Fire Squad from Ready Player Will with Phoebe in the back to back it up. A very strong team versus a double Ice Missile comp of Lucia, Summer Jaden, and Little Leela. So very interesting fight here, as Iceheart definitely loves her gun teams. She's a very big fan of Jaden and Summer Jaden, as she is both on her squad here. So Phoebe, what is she going to go for? She has Haste and Quicken. What is online? It is the Haste on Sweetheart Eldira. And what does Little Leela have in store? She's going to channel something. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Shadow Flux comes out, so gets the barrier and AP auto restore on Sweetheart Eldira. She already has 113 AP right out of the gate anyway, as Greased Lightning comes out from Pissarro. What is the damage? 49-21 and removes buffs. What is this channel coming out from Little Leela, though? I don't know if I've seen this. Oh, that's right. It's Protect. She has White Mage sub. Makes perfect sense. Lucia going to go Momentum. King Bradley TMR. So she's ready to go. She has tons of AP as well. Summer Jaden, can she reach, or can he reach here? Excuse me. Revitalize for the AP. Not quite. So lots of AP online, but no damage yet. And is this a Quicken from Phoebe? Yes, it is. So the turn doesn't exactly work perfectly, as the Quicken comes out before Sweetheart Eldira would have moved, but still very strong as Letter Bomb of Love comes out. This is going to drop CT of the target. 5368 onto Little Leela the tank, and she's only going to survive one more hit. Lucia and Summer Jaden need to start doing damage, and she still cannot reach. This positioning from Ready Player Will is actually working very, very well for him right now, as Pissarro is going to follow this up. Trick Thrust is going to take out Little Leela, and this looks like an early advantage here for him. Can Iceheart make a comeback here, though, as Treasure Hunter's Fortune just refreshes? This might be good for Iceheart here. They might just be able to chain down Pissarro and then hit Sweetheart Eldira before she approaches. Midsummer Sniper does a lot of damage, but it does not proc the Courage, as Quicken says, hey, you come over and buff me. Get the hell out of here. You're supposed to be going to do damage. Go the other way, Eldira. You're blind. Here's Lucia. What does she pull off here? She has a lot of crippling status effects, but she just goes for Sharpshoot for the guaranteed hit. Who's going to go next? It's Phoebe, but Lucia should be able to kill Pissarro. This could be pretty massive for Iceheart here. Sharpshoot comes out again. She's just going to stand still, and now it is a 2v2 here. Phoebe going to haste, so she cannot quicken. Sweetheart Eldira, though, can she find a kill? No, she can't, and now all of a sudden, this looks very, very good for Iceheart. Can they do the exact same thing to Sweetheart Eldira that they just did to Pissarro? The Midsummer Sniper removes buffs, which means haste is now gone. And this, is it another Sharpshoot? No, it's quadruple shot. Is she out of Sharpshoot uses? I think she only used it twice. Maybe she did it 3 times. She might not have the accuracy to hit Sweetheart Eldira, and this could be the difference in the fight here. Summer Jaden is going to go next, as Phoebe is out of range, or at least out of skills, not able to channel anything here. What does he go for? Piercing Ray is going to kill Phoebe, but that is not the threat. The threat is Sweetheart Eldira. Lucia, do you have the accuracy to hit? This fight comes down to this question. Quadruple shot misses every time. She does not have it. I think she is out of uses for Sharpshoot, and this should be the deal breaker, as double kill comes out from Sweetheart Eldira. Ready Player Will wins this series. The Pandas claim a 2-0 victory over Stag Party. All right, guys, jumping into game number 2 of Alcor and Diminishing Returns versus Koryu 87 of Seas. In week number 1, Alcor managed to bring it to 3 games against Catra, but lost right at the very end in a crazy 3v1 turnaround. And on the other side, Koryu 87 looking for their first points of this season. I won't say whether they got one or not in game number 1, as Zombie Transformation comes out from Amnelis. So she's got re-raise online. She is ready to go. A very strong magic comp coming out from Koryu here, or Kayuma, whichever you want to say. And Stars of Swiftness from Velas going to get haste on Severo and himself. So interesting here. I wonder if Severo will still go for his 120 skill now that he's hasted. I imagine that he probably still will, but I'm not entirely sure here. He might even be able to reach damage, as Velas should be able to refresh haste on Amnelis as well. the left side here, Alcor's team with the double water squad, Celis is going to look very, very strong against Amnelis here, but I think Amnelis has a double single target attack, which I believe if she uses that, Celis's runic will not absorb for the other unit. It will only absorb for herself. So this could be a pretty smart option from Koryu to bring that just for that specific reason, as Magic Burst does a lot of damage, does not proc Severo's Courage though, which is pretty massive because Velis, I think, should be able to find a heal on him here. Yes, he will. Snow Healing comes out. So now it's basically good to go. If Severo could live another hit and still have his Courage, it could be pretty massive here. So what does Amnelis go for? I imagine it'll just get soaked up by Celis, and Severo should be the exact same thing. Liarte, what does she go for? Shadow Devour is a ton of damage, but not enough to proc the Courage, and I don't think the Poison landed. I think just the Immobilize landed, as Flare's going to get absorbed by Celis. Perine's finally going to walk forward, but Raging Water comes out, and she still cannot deal any damage. This is looking pretty good for Koryu 87 here. Ternary Seal comes out, and now Celis is out of runic charges here. Velis should be able to full heal again. And Severo looking like a tanky boy, even though he isn't one. Celis could not one-shot him last time. Can she do it this time with the Limit Break? Very cool animation. She's going to twirl around like a little ballerina. 7,200 damage, does proc the Courage this time. And did I just see that miss Amnelis? That is very interesting. Amnelis, what do you have in store here for us? She's going to go for her double single target ability. She's going to think a little bit. She's going to channel a spell. And this is Ternary Seal. I say double. I think that's triple. Maybe that's not the skill. Maybe that is just the AoE skill. I think I might be mixing it up here. As Flare comes out from Severo for 2,900 damage. Green going to follow this up though. Vortex Kick on the entire party is tons of damage. It one-shots Amnelis. She's down to her Courage. And now Velis is going to go for a heal. Oh man, this looked really good for Koryu 87, but it might be Alcor's fight to lose now, as Snow Healing is going to top her up. No, it's not. With that healing power down from Perine, the heal does very, very little. Magic Burst, is it enough to kill Amnelis? No, it is not. So she's going to get a turn to do damage. Does her cast go off in time though? She's going to sit here and think a little bit. We've seen this from a few casters in these PvP fights. I don't know if it's just debating between what skill to use. She's thinking hard about it though. Ternary Seal, a good chunk of damage, but it's not going to be enough. I think Perine's going to find an AoE again. Yes, she will. Vortex Kick comes out, and Alcor Diminishing Returns. No, he doesn't win. I'm sorry, Amnelis still has re-raise. Wait a second. What is the turn order? Perine laps. It doesn't matter. Perine laps, punches her in the chest, says good night, Amnelis, and Alcor in Diminishing Returns wins in 2-0 fashion, claiming their first series win of the season. All right, guys, final game of this week for the Rundall division, and we are heading into game 2 of Surf Tackle versus Thunder Mage. Both players coming into the week with a series win under their belt, but who will win this one? We'll have to find out. So Surf Tackle on the left side here with Reagan against the Machine, with Murmur, Kefka, and Sweetheart Salir, as Lightning, Renan, and Surges coming out from Thunder Mage and the Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Presence of the Dragon coming out from Surges to try and prevent any sort of haste coming out from Surf Tackle's team. A pretty smart option considering Murmur likes to use Fast Cast. She's going to go Dragon's Bloodline though, basically probably just to prevent from the Vega TMR. I don't think there's any other Berserk or anything like that coming out from Thunder Mage's team, but it's a smart option because that is always on the table and you never know when it could come out. Kefka's going to put his re-raise online, and here comes Renan. Fulgurous Thunderblast. This is Thunder Mage's mascot unit, his favorite unit for a very, very long time. Only finds the damage on Sweetheart to Salir, though, not onto Kefka. Does about 5k as Twin Chi Rupture just destroys Surges in one hit. Renan actually takes quite a bit of damage as well. Barrier Buster is going to clean up Salir, and this is a very high octane fight here, as Renan's going to find Ball Lightning Plus. That is a double single target ability. Kefka takes a ton of damage from it, now down to 2473. But who can win this? Kefka's going to find an AoE. How much damage does this do to Lightning? Light of Judgment does 4,100. Lightning's going to have to find a double kill here, but it's going to be very hard to do that now that Murmur found a Cura on the party. Would have been able to kill Kefka, I think, and proc the re-raise, but the Cura was the difference here. Kefka's going to go, come on, let's play. Come on, let's win. And Surf Tackle and Reagan against the Machine in a very quick, high-octane fight picks up the 2-0 series win over Thunder Mage. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed those matches, and I'm sorry if this is clunky. There are going to be some games after this for anyone who wants to witness any of the game 1s or the game 2s for those 3-game series that I didn't get to cast. They will be after this right here. I will also start leaving a timestamp down below for anybody who wants to watch those games first, just to kind of get a better idea of what's going on and stuff like that. With that being said, let's take a look at the standings for the Rundall division after 2 weeks. We've got a tie in first place, technically Surf Taco with Reagan Against the Machine in first with the +4 tiebreaker, but 2 other teams with 6 points with Coppola of Holy Divers and Catra of Sandrock. Catra, a player who actually does not have a great historically win-loss rate in the WDL, coming out strong this season, doing very, very well for himself in the first 2 weeks. Jesus LBL of the Straw Hats and Alcor of Diminishing Returns, both with a +1 win rate with 4 points total. Thunder Mage of Shadow Wizard Money Gang and Ready Player Will of the Pandas, both with 3 points now. And Core UFC's Iceheart with Stag Party and Dawn of Primordial Inquisition are tied for last place currently, but there are 7 weeks to go. Tons of matches to get into and tons of opportunities for these people to try and get into that top 5 and make that playoff push. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got a couple more coming out for you guys. Have a wonderful day.